Hello everyone, welcome back to Administrative Office Procedure and Management, and we are now in our week 5. So we are in the week before the prelim examination. So please, ayan, paalala lang po, make sure to read your modules. Para nang sa ganun naman, may kahit konti kayong may sagot sa inyong mga exams. Okay, so before we move on, please have with you your module for week 5 so that you will have a guide in the discussion that we're going to have in this video. Okay, so I hope you have your module with you, and of course a pen as well, just in case you need to take down notes. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the topic for week 5, which is the business writing. So ano ba yung business writing? Ano yung mga characteristics ng magandang business letter? Okay, so lahat ng mga yan pag-uusapan natin in this video. So ayan, first, what is business writing? Dyan sa inyong module, business writing is a type of writing that seeks to elicit a business response. It's a purposeful piece of writing that provides relevant information to help a reader know something or do something. It must be substantive, clear, correct, and easy to scan. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng business writing. Ano ba yung business writing? Ito ay sulat na, kumbaga, to elicit a business response. Kumbaga, ito yung mga ginagawa mo na sulat na related sa business. Okay? So, yun yung business writing. Pero sabi nga dyan, it must be substantive, dapat malaman, klaro, tama, at madaling intindihin. Yun dapat yung mga characteristic ng business letters. Okay, so an effective business writing is characterized by correctness, easy of reading, and attractiveness. It also meets readers' expectation and is clear, concise, efficient, and effective. So dapat, pag nagsulat ka ng business letters mo, dapat tama, madaling intindihin, madaling basahin, attractive. Alam mo yung attractive, yung hindi ka, kumbaga first paragraph pa lang naumay ka na, ayaw mo nang ituloy na basahin kasi napaka-boring, napaka-wrong grammar. Okay? So, attractive dapat. It also meets reader's expectation and is clear, malinaw, concise, direct to the point, efficient, and effective. Siyempre, kapag ka naiintindihan nila yung letter, then you can consider that letter as effective kasi nga naintindihan ng mga readers mo. Okay? So, ayan. Ano nga ba yung 10 characteristic of an effective business writing? So, first, we have it must be readable. Andyan, number 1 sa module ninyo, first page, and sabi, allowing your audience to focus on your meaning, not your writing style. Write the way you talk. Vary sentence length and construction. Use action verbs. Carefully choose active or passive voice. Choose familiar, specific. Use lists, heading, and white space effectively. Keep it short and simple. So, ang dami nating sinabi doon, but ang bottom line is it should be short and simple. Always remember yung tinatawag natin na KISS. I'm gonna put a stress on that KISS, which is an abbreviation for keep it short and simple. So when you say readable, write as to how you talk. Huwag mong gawing masyadong, ang tawag dito, yung, kumbaga, yung style ng pagsusulat mo, dapat kung paano ka effective na magsalita, ganon din dapat yung pagsulat. Huwag mong tanggalan, huwag mong dagdagan yung mga words mo doon. Kailangan nga, sabi nga dyan, short and simple. So, when you say short and simple, it means it's easy to understand. Make your readers focus on the message, on what you're trying to tell them to do or what you're trying to make them understand. Huwag mong gawing very highfalutin yung mga words na gagamitin mo doon. Make it familiar. Ang sabi doon, choose familiar and specific. Meaning, huwag kang gumamit ng highfalutin words. Huwag kang gumamit ng nakaka-nosebleed na English. Kung yung mga readers mo is masa, alam mo, yung pangmasa, or kung yung reader mo, di ba, Anyway, kahit sino pa yung reader mo na yan, mas maa-appreciate nila kung yung letter mo is, yun nga, nababasa. Hindi siya puno ng highfalutin words. Ano ba yung tinatawag na highfalutin words? Yung mga deep English, yung mga big words na, kumbaga, ayun, dapat hindi ka gumamit ng ganun. Kung ano yung ginagamit mo in speaking, kung ano yung ginagamit mo in communicating through talking, yun din yung ilagay mo doon sa sulat mo. Huwag kang maghanap sa diksyonaryo ng 'di ba? There are people who wants to impress. There are people who wants to show their vast knowledge of vocabulary sometimes when it comes to writing, na nawawala na yung sense nung writing, na kumbaga yung gamit is to make other people understand or make other people know what you're trying to say, but then gumamit ka kasi ng highfalutin words. Gumamit ka kasi ng lalim-lalim na kung saan mo hinukay na English word dyan na hindi naman nila maintindihan, then your message or your letter, your business letter won't be effective. Kasi nga, hindi nila naintindihan. Why? It's because it's not simple. It's because they are not familiar with the words that you've been using in that letter. That's why, hindi siya effective. So, what's the use of making business letters if it won't be readable? Okay? So, next, ayan, pero may example kasi dyan eh. So, sabi doon, lacks readability. I congratulate you on the purchase of your new insurance policy. It will be a source of security and peace of mind for years to come. It will increase in value over time. You will be glad you made an investment. It will increase in value over time. Dun pa lang, medyo, what? Ano nang nangyari sa sentences? Bakit it will be a source of security and peace of mind for years to come? Why? It will increase in value over time. So if you're going to look at it, this is correct, right? The sentences here are correct. Tama naman yung pagkakalagay ng mga sentences. But then, kung ikaw babasahin mo, mapapaisip ka, kumbaga mag-e-effort ka muna kung bakit, or mag-effort ka muna para maintindihan mo yung binabasa mo. So, for example, I congratulate you on your purchase of your new insurance policy. So, okay yan. But then, it will be a source of security and peace of mind for the years to come. Why? Bakit? It will increase in value over time. Okay, so, tama naman yun, it answers why, but then, yun nga construction ng sentence, hindi siya ganon ka-understandable. Hindi siya ganon ka-readable. So, now let's move to the improved readability. Congratulations on your purchase of your new insurance policy. For years to come, it will be a source of security and peace of mind. Increasing in value over time, it will also provide a hedge against inflation. You will be glad you made the investment. So, kung ikaw ba magsasalita, ano yung gagamitin mo? If you're going to talk to a person saying these things here, what will you use? Will you use the first one or the second one? Diba? Hindi mo, okay, let's say you won't use the second one because it's medyo, napaka-explanado na niya. Pero hindi mo gagamitin yung first. Kung ako yung magsasabi nito, I congratulate you on sa words hawak sa letters. So, kung ako makikipag-usap and then I'm going to congratulate my client, it will be, I congratulate you on the purchase of your new insurance policy. It will be a source of security and peace of mind for the years to come because it will increase in value over time. You will be glad you made an investment. So, that would be how I will say it. So, that should also be the way you're going to write it down. Okay? So, ayan, readable. Naiintindihan, readability. Next, we go to tactful. Ano naman yung tactful? Taking care not to alienate or offend the readers. Be tactful. Tactics. Dapat yung tactics mo, joke. Pero dapat yung tactics mo, wala kang naiinsulto, wala kang na-offend. Make sure na gamitin mo yung tactfulness mo na masigurado mo na wala kang ma-offend, na wala kang masasaktan, na wala kang maaapakan, joke. Ayan, pero totoo, tama, 'di ba? Gumamit ka ng tactics wherein you will be sure that you won't be able to hurt somebody or you won't be able to alienate someone dun sa mga readers mo. So when you're making a business letter, it's very important to make sure or ano ba yung term nila doon? Parang ano yung term nila doon? Hindi ko maisip. Wait. Saglit, hindi ko siya masabi. Kumbaga, unahan mo na. Okay, unahan mo na isipin na yung mga readers mo, lahat ng uri ng tao, lahat ng klase ng tao, magiging readers mo. So, dapat yung letter mo, yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, pangmasa. Unahan mo na. So, ano yung sabi dito sa number 2? Avoid language bias like gender, culture, religious, age, sexual orientation. Ensure tone is not non-accusatory. Use humor appropriately. So, when you say tactful, ayun nga yung sinabi ko, always think, when you're making a business letter, always think that the reader of your letter is going to be all kinds and all colors of people. So, be tactful in making sure that you won't put or write something there that could possibly offend anyone. Anyone meaning sa gender, sa religion, sa color, ayan, sa sexual orientation, sa age, sa lahat na. Okay? Make sure na hindi ka nag-a-accuse, na wala kang ino-offend, na wala kang nasasaktan, awanti mapaspasagidam dun sa mga letters mo. So, before you go and give those letters, make sure to review it a few more times. Okay? So, sabi dyan, use humor appropriately. So, when you say humor, yun nga, yung humor natin sometimes, hindi magkakapareho ang wavelength. Hindi magkakapareho. May mga tao na okay lang sa kanila, right? May mga tao na yung kumbaga nusut-sutilam, pag binibiro mo sila, okay lang sa kanila kasi sanay sila sa mga ganong uri ng biro, ganong uri ng humor. Yung mga, for example, yung mga dirty jokes, ganyan, or for example, yung mga gender jokes, may mga tao talaga na okay lang sa kanila yon na kumbaga, nasanay na sila sa mga ganong uri ng humor or ganong uri ng mga biro or kantsawan, ganyan. Sanay sila sa mga yun. Pero, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, hindi mo, kumbaga, lahat, yung sinabi ko nga kanina, na pagka nagsulat ka, make sure that pangmasa yun. Na lahat ng uri ng tao, lahat ng klase, lahat ng kulay, lahat ng kasarian, makakabasa nung sulat mo. So, make sure na slight lang yung humor. Wag mong sobrahan kasi nga hindi lahat okay sa kanila yung mga dirty jokes, yung mga gender jokes, ganyan. So, bottom line is, when it comes to business, be formal enough. Be professional enough in writing it, okay? Yun nga, dapat stick to the point, straightforward na yung point kung ano yung gusto mong sabihin, yun lang. But then, make sure na wala kang na-offend. So, tabi dito, sa guidelines for using humor, number 1, could it be possibly offend or alienate? Could it possibly offend or alienate my audience, including secondary readers? Okay, so when it's humor you're using, make sure na tanungin mo muna kung meron bang maaring ma-offend dito. So for example, let's say, ano ba yung ano? So for example, 'di ba si President Digong, ano siya, mahilig siya dun sa mga dirty jokes. We know that. Mahilig siya sa mga dirty jokes like 'di ba, ang dami-dami niyang issues when it comes to this kasi yung humor kasi niya iba, yung pagbiro niya hindi siya, sinasabi ng iba na hindi siya appropriate dun sa dun sa position. So this standard is set syempre ng community, pero syempre nga alam naman natin na si President Duterte is wala siyang pakialam dun sa siniset ng ng community na hindi naman sa walang pakialam, pero ayun, mas free, ano kasi siya, mas free spirited kasi si President, okay? So ngayon, 'di ba, gumagamit siya ng dirty jokes. And some are offended. Okay, so you get my point. Some are offended. Yung humor ni President, hindi lahat kayang i-absorb. So when it comes to business writing, make sure na tanungin mo muna kung could it possibly offend or alienate my audience or those who are going to read. Baka naman may ma-offend ako dito. Baka naman may sensitive masyado ma-offend ko. So you have to make sure na walang offensive or yung humor na nandun talagang pangmasa. Okay? Huwag kang gumamit ng mga biro na that pertains to a certain religion. Huwag kang gumamit ng biro that hits a certain gender category or yung mga ganon. Be sensitive enough. Okay? So number 2, is it sufficient in context? Is it sufficient in context? What do you mean by sufficient? Tama ba? Eksakto ba? Or baka naman kulang yung nilalaman. So let's say for example, sabihin mo dun sa letter mo na please there will be there's going to be a seminar on September 13. Okay, short nga, 'di ba? September 13. But then, saan naman yung seminar? Tungkol saan naman yung seminar? Sino-sino ang invited? O hindi mo naman nalagay doon. So yun, make sure that it's sufficient in context. Meaning, kompleto po yung nilalaman nung sulat mo. Okay? Related to the topic. So the same is true when you are discussing something. So for example, ako dito, 10 characteristics of effective business writing yung sinulat ko, pero yung nandyan lang is 1, 2. O, kumpleto ba yan? Sufficient context ba yan dun sa related topics? Nakalagay nga dun na 10 characteristics, tapos yun nandito lang is 2 lang yun na enumerate. So, ayan, sufficient, dapat kumpleto. Number 3, does it add worthwhile value and or impact to my message? Ayan, kailangan ba nung mensahe ang humor na nilalagay ko? Or yung biro ba na nilalagay ko? Or sige na, wag biro. The humor that I put in my letter, would it be helpful? Or kailangan ba na ilagay ko yon? Would it be worthwhile to add? Or baka naman mas maiintindihan nila na wala na yung humor na yon or wala na yung biro na yon. Baka naman mas maiintindihan pa nila yung letter ko. So make sure to ask that question as well. Number 4, are there any barriers to the humor being understood? Ito pa yung isa. Mahirap kasi na naglalagay ka ng biro or ng konting humor dun sa sulat mo na maaring hindi naman pala maintindihan, hindi naman magets nung mga readers mo. Kasi nga, yun nga yung sinabi ko, hindi naman lahat open to humor, di ba? So, hindi nila maintindihan. So, mas lalong hindi magiging effective yung letter mo. Are there any barriers? May mga humor talaga na, di ba? For example, nag-joke ka, tapos basag yung joke mo kasi hindi nila naintindihan. Ganon. Baka ganon din yung mangyari sa letter mo. Mas lalo lang na hindi maintindihan nung reader mo yung pag naglagay ka pa dun ng humor, or pag naglagay ka pa dun ng biro. So, ano mangyayari? Mas lalong maguguluhan yung reader mo kasi nga hindi niya ma-relate, hindi siya makarelate dun sa biro. And aside from, dahil nga sa hindi siya makarelate sa biro, hindi rin niya ma-relate yung biro dun sa nilalaman ng letter. So, what's the point? Okay? So, next, does it prevent me in any way from achieving my objective? Okay, so it goes with number 4. Number 6, will it detract from the desired professional image? Ito pa yung isang dapat ingatan when putting or when adding a humor. Will it detract from the desired professional image? When we are talking about business writing, it should be professionally done. So, when you say professionally done, dapat yung output mo nakaka-professional, ganun. Pag nilagay mo ba yung humor na yan, baka naman mawala yung professionalism na tingin or na dating nung sulat. So for example, ayan na naman tayo, si President Duterte. O ayan, di ba, mahilig siyang mag-joke. And because of these jokes that he's making during press conference, maraming bumabatikos sa kanya saying that he's not professional in handling or in talking or in handling yung mga press conferences na yan. So ayan, baka naman ganun din yung maging reaction ng mga readers mo dun sa sulat mo when you add this humor or when you add this joke. Next, if you are completely comfortable with your responses to all these questions, then it's probably okay to include it. So kung positive naman yung yung mga dyan, yung mga magiging sagot mo dyan sa mga questions 1 to 6, then maybe probably it would be okay to include it. Include it in your letter. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, which is personal. Number 3. Wait, before we move on to personal, andito, lacking tact. If an employee can't get out of bed in time, he should at least call and let his supervisor know that he will be late. Yun yung lacking of tact or lacking tact. Now, more tactful, please notify your supervisor if you're going to be late. Bakit kailangan mo ba bang sabihin doon na you can't get out of bed in time? Bakit? Siyempre, magkakaroon na ng bakit kaya hindi siya nakaalis ng kama ng maaga. Oh, di ba? That's humor, right? That's humor. Yes, that's humor. But then, will it help you in delivering your message efficiently? Siyempre, instead na yung maging sentro ng atensyon nung nagbasa is that he will be late and he has to notify, or anyone who's going to be late has to notify their supervisor. Imbis na yun na yung maging sentro ng isip nung magbabasa, hindi na, magiging yung first part na that if an employee can't get out of the bed in time. Bakit? Ano kaya ginawa niya dun sa bed? Bakit hindi siya makabangon ng maaga? Diba? You see? So, ayan. That's it. Next, let's move on. Number 3, personal. Delivering a message to the reader rather than from a writer. Saglit, hindi ko naintindihan. Delivering a message to the reader rather than from a writer. If appropriate, frequently use second-person pronouns such as you in your writing. When using the third person, think about how you can direct the message to your reader. Be empathetic and try to consider your reader's needs and points of view. So, example, writer focus. We know you'll enjoy the many benefits of your own health care. Reader focus. You are going to enjoy the many benefits of your new healthcare plan, or your new health plan will benefit you in many ways. Okay, so ano yung ibig sabihin ng personal? Yung kanina na hindi ko naintindihan, sabi, deliver a message to the reader that rather than from a writer. Iwasan yung first person na ginagamit when you're making a business letter. Yung we, I, me, yon, iwasan mo yon. Make it a reader-focused letter. It should always be about the reader that you are pertaining to. Hindi yung kung ano ang gusto mo, hindi yung kung ano ang sa tingin mo, but it's for the benefit. Kung ano ang magiging benefit nito dun sa readers. Yun dapat yung sentro. Yung reader mo dapat ang center ng letter mo. So, ayan, nakita ninyo yung reader focus, we. Meron siyang we doon. Ay, yung writer focus, we. So, parang sinasabi ng writer na alam namin na ganito ang mangyayari. Okay? But, dun sa reader focus naman, ganito ang mapapala mo. So, it's them. It's not about you as a writer, but it's about them as your readers. Yun dapat yung sentro ng magiging letter mo. Okay? Next, 4, we have positive. Using a tone that encourages a positive interpretation. Make language upbeat and tone can do. Highlight positive information by placing it at the beginning or end of the message. Where necessary, use repetition for emphasizing the positive. because influencing factors and suggest reader benefits before introducing potential negative information. Discuss influencing factors and suggest reader benefits before introducing potential negative information. So, importante yon. Ano yung sinasabi nila na So, basahin muna natin yung mga examples. So, first, negative. Our meeting failed to accomplish anything and unless you have any other ideas, we are abandoning the notion of a merger. Negative. So, we move on to positive. Do you have any additional thoughts to help us make a final decision regarding the merger? So, be a positive. Kumbaga, wag kang avoid saying negative words dun sa magiging message mo. Okay. Or just in case, sabi nga doon, just in case na kailangan ng, or talagang merong potential negative information na kailangan mong idagdag doon sa, for example, caution and everything doon sa magiging message mo, make sure na ilahad mo muna lahat doon yung mga benefits na pwede nilang makuha before you move on to the negative part, and then add another sugar coating. So parang you sandwich it, good, bad, good. Yun, sandwiching. Sandwiching yata yung tawag doon. Pero yun, you have to be kumbaga tactful din when it comes to telling some negatives na na message dun sa message mo. Dapat i-sugarcoat mo muna sa taas, ganyan, lahat ng magagandang maidudulot ng kung ano man yung business mo, and then you go down to sa last yung hindi naman sa last, pero pagkatapos mo ng sugar coating, ilagay mo doon yung negative na konti or negative na short, and then lagyan mo ulit ng sugar coating sa baba. Para nang sa ganon, hindi yung negative part ng letter mo ang ma-ingrain or maitatak doon sa utak ng readers mo, kundi yung mga benefits. Parang dapat i-outweigh nung good or nung benefits or nung positive part of your message yung negative part. Okay? So, ayan. Next, we have unified. Active. Ayan, active. Applying the active voice to focus on the doer. Use the active voice most of the time to be more emphatic and concise. Choose the positive voice if you wish to de-emphasize or don't know the identity of the doer. For example, active voice. The internal task force negotiated the important contract. Passive voice. The important contract was negotiated by the internal force. The dispatcher relayed the call. Passive voice. The call was relayed by the dispatcher or the call was relayed. So, ano yung ibig sabihin ng passive and when you say passive voice, nauuna yung object. Tama ba? Nauuna yung object kaysa sa doer. Yan naman yung example na binigay. Anyway, ayan. So, ayan. This is, I think, this is a part of English or grammar. Dapat na-discuss sa inyo kung ano yung passive voice and active voice. Okay? So next, we have unified. Number 6, we have unified. Including only information related to the main message. Ensure all ideas in the document related to the overall purpose. Eliminate unnecessary details. Clearly indicate how ideas within the sentences relate to each other, to one another. Check that paragraphs do not contain more than one central idea. Okay, so when you say unified, dapat united. Iisa lang yung gustong sabihin ng mga paragraphs mo. Isang topic lang yung dinidiscuss. And that, walang kung ano-anong naka-include dun sa message na hindi naman kailangan, na hindi naman related dun sa kung ano ang gusto mong ipahiwatig. Okay, yun yung ibig sabihin ng unified. So for example, lacking unity, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you yesterday, and I have redesigned the floor plan for the station. Say what? On the first part of the sentence, he was talking, or the person was talking about how he appreciated the opportunity to talk with this other person, and then here comes the second part of the sentence na sinasabi niya na nagre-design siya ng floor plan. Does it go together? Does it have unity? Of course not. Unified, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you yesterday. Period. Based on your advice, comma, I have redesigned the floor plan for the station. So, ayun, maayos, 'di ba? So, ayan. Next, number 7, coherent. Connecting ideas and making them easy to understand. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng coherent. Konektado ka dong dapat. Ganun. Ensure the items in the series have parallel structure. Show relationships between ideas by using linking words. I list items in a series to make them stand out. Clarify relationships with numbering. Use headings to highlight and introduce main ideas. Check for dangling constructions and misplaced modifiers. So, in incoherent, attending the class, a cadaver was used for experiment. So, naiintindihan ba? Okay. Or konektado ba yung attending class and then yung cadaver? Cadaver. Alam niyo yung cadaver? Oh, yun. Alam nyo. Next, coherent. When I attended the class, a cadaver was used for experiment. Or the class I attended used a cadaver for experiment. Okay? So, ayan. Make it coherent. Make it related. Make it understandable. Next, make it clear. Claro. Making the message easy to understand the first time it read. Clearly develop your ideas so that there are no unanswered questions. Use language that is precise, concrete, and vivid. Make language level appropriate for purpose and audience. Ensure words used are familiar to reader. Define unfamiliar technical terms, short forms, and acronyms. Use particular important if there is a secondary audience. Okay, clear. Someone will contact you soon. Precise. Our division supervisor will contact you soon. So, ayan. When you say clear, dapat sa unang pagbasa pa lang nila, naintindihan na nila. Wala nang what, wala nang questions, wala nang hindi naintindihan na words. So as I've said, don't use highfalutin words. Stick to what you are using when you are talking, which are familiar words to your readers. Okay? So, ayan. Next, we have be concise. Being economical with words. Eliminate word expression, omit trite phrases, avoid unnecessary repetition, replace abstract terms. So, when you say concise, direct to the point. Huwag nang maraming paligoy-ligoy pa. Okay? So, for example, we are fully cognizant of the fact that you are predisposed to non-occurrence with your opinion. Ano daw? Oh, ako nga, hindi ko naintindihan eh. Ano yung concise? We know you don't agree. Yun naman pala eh. Bakit kailangan mo pang pahabain? Yun lang naman pala yung ibig sabihin nun. Diba? Ganon. Okay, make it concise. Next. And lastly, we have mechanically sound. Eliminate errors to ensure understanding and credibility. Verify all sentences are complete and properly constructed. Check your punctuation. Double check your spelling. Don't trust spell grammar check to find all errors. Purchase and use a dictionary, a thesaurus, and possibly a style guide. Whenever possible, use a peer editor. Peer editor meaning marami sila. Peer maraming mag-uusap-usap or mag-check nung iyong tawag dito? Hindi naman, joke lang. Pero when you say peer, ipa-edit mo sa iba, ipatingin mo sa iba. Wag lang one but two, kung pwede. Ganun. Next, let's see the example. Woman without her man is lost. Version 2, woman without her man is lost. Number 2, a woman without her man is lost. Leaving out a semicolon when it is needed is like winking at someone in the dark. You know what you are doing but no one else does. Okay, so ayan, mechanically sound. Now, I want to share na hindi nyo naman na kailangan, di ba sabi dito, don't trust the spell grammar check to find all errors. But then we have other softwares like the Grammarly or application. Grammarly is very helpful when it comes to improving your writing skills. Kasi marami siyang mga features that would help you correct your grammar and your sentence construction. I've experienced using it for a while and it was really helpful. Ayan. So, yun, yung isang helpful tool when you need yung mga help in correcting grammar, especially when it comes to business writing. Okay, so let's move on to your requirements. In a yellow paper, write 3 examples of business letters. Define and discuss each of the business letters in number 1 in 1 to 2 paragraphs as to when it is used and whom it is sent. Okay, madali lang naman yan. For example, ano yung business letters? Ano yung example ng business letters? Hindi ko naman po sinabi na gumawa kayo ng business letters or kung mangopya kayo ng business letters. Ano ang tawag sa business letter na yan? Yun yung gusto kong sabihin or yun yung gusto kong lumabas dun sa assignment ninyo. And each of these 3 types ng business letters, make sure na ilagay ninyo, i-discuss ninyo ng konti. Okay, i-discuss ninyo ng konti. Ano ba yung nilalaman yan? Para kanino ba yan? Saan ba ginagamit yung uri ng business letter na yan? So, ayun. Yun lang naman. So, I think we're done with this discussion. I hope I was able to help you understand what is in your module. If you have any question, any clarification, or any inquiry with regards our topics, or with regard our lessons, or with regards your activities, please feel free to message me via Messenger. I will answer as soon as I can. And then, ayan, para po dun sa mga hindi pa naka-enroll dun sa ating Google Classroom, please enroll. And ano pa ba? May nakalimutan pa ba ako? As I've said, next week is going to be your examination week, prelims. So, please read your modules, review. I will try to give the, I will try to give the, di ko na alam yung sasabihin ko, reviewers, okay? Pointers for review. In the GC, so abangan ninyo. I hope I will be able to upload it by Friday. Okay, para may time kayo na mag-review. So that's it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the video, for spending time in watching the video. I hope I was able to, help you understand what is in your module. I hope to see you in our next video also, which is going to be your week 7 after prelims. Good day and God bless.